Hey, Masterclass Singapore. We're so sorry that Taboola wasn't able to make it today, real life, but we put together this video for you that we hope would be interesting. I'll start with introducing myself. So my name is Rachel Zalta. I'm Taboola's Global Research and Insights Lead. I'm a behavioral psychologist. The reason why Taboola hired me was because they understood that looking only at data or only at behaviors is half of the story, and we need to understand why people are behaving in different ways, what motivates them to behave in different ways in order to really succeed. So today I'm going to be talking to you about video, a little bit of psychology, and yeah, let's get started. So I want to focus on three things. The first one is how video relates to the human instinct. The second one is how people are behaving in Singapore specifically as opposed to the rest of the world. And the third thing is how the context plays a part in your video viewing. So let's start with the human instinct. If I was in the jungle and I was trying to survive and there was something moving in the side of my eye, how important would it be for me to be able to notice that movement right away? So it would be crucial, right? Obviously, because that thing that's moving could be dangerous. And so humans, and actually all animals, developed an instinct to always look towards things that are moving. And that same instinct applies offline, but it applies online as well. So if we're online and we're engaging with content, and then we see something moving in the side of our eye, it's almost impossible for us to ignore that movement. Now that could be really interruptive if you're in the middle of doing something and then a video appears. But if, like in Taboola, the video is in the bottom of the article or somewhere that's not interruptive, then it could be a really great way to kind of grab that person's attention. So people relates to human instinct too. So if I was in this room and a lion came in, who would survive, me or the lion? So you guys don't know me so well, but probably the lion. But what happens when I meet a friend and then we meet another friend and together we're able to create a community is we're able to build defenses against dangerous things like lions. So part of what helped humans survive wasn't that we were the strongest, but it was our ability to connect with other humans. And because of that instinct or ability to always want to connect with other humans, when we walk into the room in the morning, the first thing we do is we look around to see who else is here. And that same behavior applies online too. So if we're scrolling down a web page, if we see another person, our instinct is always to look directly at them. So when we're thinking about video and how do we grab attention with video and how do we maintain that engagement, including people is always going to be really helpful, especially if those people are somehow emotional, and especially if the person in the video is looking directly at the camera while it's being filmed, while their video is being filmed. It feels to the audience as if they're looking directly at them, which is something that I'm trying to do in this video. Hopefully it's successful. So we do a lot of experiments with eye tracking. We ask people to come and watch different video ads and we follow their eyeballs. We want to see where they're looking. That helps Taboola understand how people are engaging with different videos and what kind of videos they should recommend. So take a look at this H&M video ad. So we see some women dancing and having a great time. Where are people looking when they're watching that video? They're looking at other people's faces. They're looking at their eyes. The same thing, by the way, happens with animals. So take a look at this video ad by Casper. Here there are all these adorable animals and people are always, again, looking at these animals' faces or their eyes. One more thing to keep in mind when you think about video is authenticity. So we don't know what happens in other networks, but on the native network, what we found is that the more authentic videos are working better. So if we look at really, really high quality videos as opposed to normal quality videos, the high quality videos don't actually work better. So that was one of the reasons why we were okay with putting together this video, which isn't the most high quality video, but hopefully people can relate to it more. The next thing I want to talk about is about a site called trends.taboola.com. So trends.taboola.com started around 3 years ago when we were trying to put together best practices. We took all of our data from 3 months ago, prior to this date, and we analyzed all of the creatives for best practices. So we looked at, images that had people versus images that didn't have people, and we wanted to see which one has a higher average CTR. And we put together the best practices, we put it on a PDF, And then a few months later, we analyzed the data again, and what we found is that the best practices changed. So online behavior is constantly changing, and that's one of the reasons we put together trends.taboola.com, because Taboola wants to keep tabs on those changes. We need to know how people are behaving right now so we can recommend the best thing for our advertisers. So feel free to take a look at it. There are some really cool trends happening right now in Singapore. So we spoke about humans always doing better than images or videos without humans, and we see that in the data as well. So humans work really, really well globally and also in Singapore as well. So I'm gonna take a look at the rest of the data. So if we look at gender, globally, there's not such a big difference between men and women. And in Singapore, there's a really big difference. People click more on images with men. I don't know why, but feel free to send over any assumptions. And then when we looked at colorful images versus black and white images, what we found was that globally, again, there wasn't such a big difference, but in Singapore specifically, there was a strong preference for black and white images. So really interesting. Feel free to take a look at the site, use it, see what you think about it, and continuously use it because, again, the trends are always changing. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is the context. So if you see the same exact video ad, but you see it in different times of the day or while you're doing different experiences online, it will affect you in a different way. The experiment that I like to talk about in this regard is with a man called Joshua Bell. Joshua Bell is an American, very famous violinist. People pay hundreds of dollars to listen to him play his beautiful music. And one day he took his $3.5 million violin to the metro station in Washington, D.C., and he played his beautiful music there. And the question is, how many people do you think listened to Joshua Bell on that day, and how much money did he make? And the answer is very little. So I think 16 people listened to him and walked away after a minute, and he made like $18. And what this shows us is that you can have the best brand in the world, or in this case, the best music in the world, but if it's in the wrong context, it's just not going to work. So what you have to ask yourself is not only how to create the best creative, but where do I advertise it in order to really maximize the potential that your brand message has? We recently ran a study and we asked 5,000 people, what is the most important thing to them when they watch a video ad? So let me take a look at the stats. 40%, which was the largest amount of people, said that the most important thing for them when they watched a video ad was the ability to skip or scroll out of that video. Now, it doesn't mean that they will skip and scroll out of the video, but consumers, and I'm sure you feel this way as well, they like that ability. They don't want to feel trapped. They want to feel that freedom that they can leave when they want to. And then we had 15% of people who said that they care most that the video ad is not interrupting them in the middle of something else. Many times we go online with one specific reason. We're here to read an article. We're here to watch a video. And if a video ad comes in that time, when we're in the middle of trying to do something else, it's extremely interruptive and people really don't like that experience. And then only 14% said that the most important thing for them in video ads is that it's entertaining, and 8% cared if it's informative. So if we look at how many people cared more about the placement aspects versus the creative aspects, people actually care much more about the placement. So as advertisers, we really need to keep this in mind. So today we spoke about three things. We spoke about how human instinct is involved with video. We spoke about how people are behaving in Singapore versus the rest of the world and where we could find that data. And then we spoke about the importance of the placement. I hope this was interesting for you. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. We always publish new studies and new trends that we're seeing there. And yeah, feel free to send any questions. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope to come visit you all soon. And I hope everyone is healthy and no more corona. Have a wonderful day.